Hey everybody, it's PrivateCitizen, and today I'm going to go over the install for a cooling fan for the Cubby where we keep the cell phones. I did notice that during the summertime that my phone actually would get it really hot sitting in that Cubby. So sometimes I would actually open up the door while I was riding, let the door just stay open for a while just to let it cool down. I did remove the little rubber grommet that's on the right side of the box just to get a little extra airflow, but that didn't help enough to keep it cool. And I've been looking online and I've seen people talk about cubby coolers. A couple different places actually sell cubby coolers. I saw it on Cyclemax, and which I think is $26.99 or $95. And Wing Stuff sells them for $29.95, I think. But they're out of stock. So I had to wait for them. So I said, well, let me see if I can work something out. Make up my own thing using stuff I can find online. So these two things I found on Amazon. The first is from, it's called Coolerguys. I don't know if you can see that. It's a 25 by 25 by 10 USB fan. So this thing is small. Actually, this side of it is the actual size of a quarter. A quarter can actually fit right in there. I did have a quarter. Wait, I think about what? So to demonstrate, just so you know I'm not lying. There's a quarter, right there, fits right inside. The reason why I was trying to, I'm using a quarter. I was trying to find something to use as a template, so I knew how big to make the hole, because the hole that's actually there right now is about the size of the center of the fan, and once you screw it against that, then there's really no air space, for the air to move. So you need it to be at least this size, the size of a quarter, so that the air can flow. What I didn't know when I was buying it, but it turned out to be a plus, is the other side of this fan has a USB connector on it. So once you connect this, you can also attach something here if you want to just charge an extra headset that's sitting there, or you got a battery pack, anything like that. Extra cell phone, if you use that just for, well, I don't know if the cell phone will work. I did try connecting my Apple iPhone to this connector when it was on the bike, and it would not power. So regular chargers might work, or other items that you can charge will work, but the Apple cell phones will not. And this item I also got off of Amazon. And this is the splitter. So basically, this end of the splitter you plug into the plug that's in the Cubby now, and of the two connections, one of them has, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like a triangle detent on there. So when I plug my iPhone into this, it does pass data and everything to the bike, so that I can get my nav, or I can listen to iTunes, Pandora, get calls, send messages, talk to Siri, see how she's doing, ask her if she had a good night, all that type of stuff. So all that works, and this one does pass power. So while on the bike, what will happen is this is plugged in to the factory connector that's inside the Cubby. This one will connect to my cell phone, and this one will connect to the fan. And then if there's something else that I need to charge, I can actually plug it in here. So in the wintertime, when you don't need the fan, you can just unplug this, and then you can use this if you need to charge something else, or you could just unplug this whole piece altogether and plug your phone right back in there, and just leave the fan sitting there if you don't want it running all the time. Also, some people might want to run a cable up to the front of their bike to power maybe an Android phone. Android phone might work with this. I don't have one to test to see, but an Android phone, or maybe you have a separate GPS, that might work. So you might want to do that. You can plug this in at the one end, go to the phone that's in the Cubby, and then have this other end connect to a cable that's routed up to your handlebars for a GPS or Android phone, what have you. But I would definitely check to make sure that it at least will charge that item before you wind up, running the cable and everything. So that's it for here. I'm gonna go to the bike now and talk about the install, making the hole bigger. I'm gonna talk about that step bit thing because I'm not sure how I can get that to work on mine. And that's about it. So I'll see you there. Thanks. Okay, here you can see my current setup. Here's the foam pad that came with the bike to hold the cell phone. And I have the cord routed in there. And here it is connected to the bike. You can see that. I'm just going to disconnect this and sit it on the side for now. Here's the grommet. I'm just going to lay that down in there. But it came from this hole here. And I think this is for either, I don't know what it's like, auxiliary power connection or CV, I'm not sure. But hey, if you got the manual, you can look it up and know exactly what's supposed to go there. But let me put a little light on the subject. So that's what the cubby looks like. You can see there's a drain hole there. The little rubber grommet is sitting below the holder. Oh, looks like my light's about to die. And there you go. Let me see, maybe I can set the light there and show you. See, the cord goes down in the holder like that. So anyway, here is the hole. And I'm assuming, because I looked online, they were referencing using a step drill bit to actually make the hole bigger for the fan. And just putting it there really doesn't leave much room for the drill or whatever that's working it. Now, I do have a flexible drill line, I guess is the thing you could call it. It's like a 3-foot extension that's flexible. But I probably won't be doing that. I most likely will be using my trusty Dremel and just Dremel it out. I'll use a piece of blue tape that I put over where I want, and then I will mark it out with my quarter, and I'll show that to you before I start. All right, one other thing I wanted to mention, before I started drilling to make this hole bigger, I wanted to make sure that there was nothing behind it that I would be hitting and messing up. So I'm using this little pick tool, Ampro. It came in a set like 4 different picks. You can get this, I guess, at any hardware store, Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. But basically, I'm just feeling in this hole, and what I'm trying to do is see if there's anything behind it, right? Because I know I'm going to be enlarging it, and I just want to make sure that as I drill in there, that it's not going to hit anything. So there is something right here under the bottom, and I think that that's just foam, the foam that's around. Right, can you see that? See, it's hitting on something there. It's hitting on something there. Well, it just appears to be the foam that's on the outside of this plastic box. I guess it's a sound dampener or something like that. Well, other than that, I can go back a few inches and not hit anything except for this lower side. So this lower side, there is something there. So when I make this hole, what I'm gonna do is keep the bottom and then enlarge it this way up higher, because I know there's nothing around there. And then I'll just screw the fan in. All right. So I put the tape on and I'm just rubbing my finger around the hole just to get it like an outline that's visible so you can see where the hole sits. Okay, so I just held the quarter on with one hand, and I used a fine tip black marker with the other hand to make the circle. Black marker works well because it really doesn't show up on the black casing, the inside of the cubby box. And you can see I have it matched so it lines up to the bottom of the hole that's already there. All right, now just use a Dremel and we'll cut it out. Stay tuned. Remember, you want to stay on the inside of the black, not the outside, or else the hole will be too wide. And I'm just trying to score it to start off. And then I'll come back. I'll try to smooth it all out. There's the hole, finished. And here's the fan. Now I'll get a couple small screws and screw that down. And that's it. All right. Once I get it all done, I'll do a demonstration so you can see it working. And that's it. And this all costs right around 12 bucks. All right. So I just pressed that in just to get a starting mark for where the screw holes need to be. Again, there's not enough space. Well, not a lot of space here really to work. And you don't want to put pressure on this door and wind up breaking it, so you have to be careful about that too. Yeah, that didn't work. Let me try something else. Okay, so I just used a finer pointed bit on the Dremel. I don't know if you can see it. See, I just used a finer point. And what I did was I just used it to just start the holes, the two holes. You might only be able to get one screw in. I think the pictures I've seen of this online, it only had one screw holding it down. And again, that's probably because it's so hard to get to. Pain in the boot today. Yeah, so it looks like I only have the one screw holding it down. The other one's there, but it's really not doing anything. All right. So here you can see what it looks like installed. I have the one screw there. There's another screw there, but it's actually in the hole, so it's not really doing anything. And so what I'm gonna do is get it to right where I want it to be, and I'm gonna put in the third screw here. I'm just gonna mark it with this piece. So I know where to put the, where to start the hole. All right, so once I have that marked, and the other thing, you want to be careful, you don't want to put it up too high because this piece is recessed here. And I am using a finer bit on a Dremel. Okay. So I would say my recommendation is just to put 2 screws in at the top because it's easier to work with. You can do them diagonally, one on the top and one on the opposite bottom. It's just harder to get to. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere. All right, so let's try that. Now the one cord. Now, when you first start up the bike, you might think it's not working, but it takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, maybe 20 seconds, just for the fan to start running. I don't know if you can see that. I can feel the air. It doesn't put out a whole lot. I think it's rated at like 1 cubic foot per minute. Something small. So you can see the cell phone is connected. It's going to the splitter. One end of the splitter, other side of the cord. I'm gonna plug this into the fan. I need an extra hand here. I don't know if you can see the fan is not moving right now. And it is moving. And stop. And it's moving. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can feel it. There is some airflow. It's not moving a lot of air. I think it says it moves like 1.7 cubic feet per minute. So it's not a whole lot. Whether or not it's enough to keep the Cubby cool in the summertime, keep the phone from overheating, I don't know, but there it is. That's the setup. Then all you have to do is just run your wires inside, try to make it look neat, and that's about it. I also wanted to talk about running a connection to your handlebars. I know people talked about, having a line ran either to this side or to this side so that they can connect their phones, GPS, whatever. On the front side of this, it is clear. You can't get through from this side. There is maybe a 1/4 inch of foam or less that's on the outside of this plastic box. So if you want to do that, I would suggest making a hole on this side, just big enough to fit the connector for your phone, which is smaller than the actual USB connector. And once you do that, just press through the foam. So make a hole just big enough for this to fit through on this side, and then use something like an X-Acto knife or a thin razor blade to pierce the foam that's on the other side, and that'll help make a waterproof connection once it's through there. It won't be perfect, but it'll be more than good enough, I believe, in any situation, especially with this being recessed. You won't have an issue. And then once you do that, just run the wire up behind here, and then you can just follow. Here, there's a plastic piece on the back side that you can unscrew, and then just run it with the other wires that come up to the handlebars, and just leave it sitting out. And then once you have the second cable sitting in this box, you can just decide. So if you're gonna have your phone in here and keep it connected, then just connect the phone while it's in here. If not, then just take that connector and connect it to the cord that's going up here. If you just need power, remember that there is an extra power connector that's on the fan. And if it's wintertime and you don't need the fan, you can disconnect it. Just leave this inside the box and use this to connect directly to your other power line that's heading to your handlebars. I hope that's helpful. I know I didn't. I hope it's helpful. I know I didn't actually demonstrate it by running one. I don't really plan on having my phone on my handlebars, but it's real easy to do. I don't see it being that hard at all. You can see right here, there's a whole set of cables that are running up to the handlebars here, so it'll be easy enough to feed through another cable for a cell phone and have it run up. Here, I don't know if I can show you the back side, but here's the backside piece. Comes off. There's a one screw hole here. You can take it off. But that's just a little tip if you're trying to do something like that. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your day. So here's some pics showing the completed project, what it looks like. And then there's a close-up so you can see where all the connections were made. And then finally what it looks like with the OEM foam insert. I did do some tests with a food thermometer. I know you're saying, I'm never eating at his house. But I used the food thermometer to check the temperature changes and how hot things got. And it does work, as you would expect, a lot better without having the foam insert around the phone. Of course, it's fine in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it just helps hold in the heat. Another thing that I realized is that the fan at 1.7 cubic feet per minute, I don't believe it puts out enough air. So I will be doing a part 2 with an upgraded fan to see if that does a little bit better. And I will try to show some temperature data from my food thermometer so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, thank you.